My beloved child, be still for a moment and listen carefully. I am Archangel Michael, and I have stepped forward now because something extraordinary has already begun moving in your life. Do not rush. Do not scroll. Do not let your attention drift, even for a breath. What I am about to reveal was set into motion before you even realized you needed it. Heaven has been watching closely, and I was sent because a decision has already been made, a decision that carries your name within it. Moments ago, in the unseen layers of your reality, a turning point occurred. Your person, the one whose heart has been quietly holding feelings far deeper than you ever imagined, received a phone call that shattered the old structure of their world. It was not loud. It was not dramatic to the outside eye, but spiritually, it was thunder. As they listened, something inside them awakened. Their pulse changed. Their breath shortened. Their thoughts scattered and then suddenly aligned. And in that alignment, a truth rose so clearly that it could no longer be ignored. I watched as time slowed around them. The room blurred. Every familiar voice in their life faded into background noise. Because in that instant, clarity arrived. Not confusion, not fear, clarity. And with that clarity came courage. My beloved child, what happened next is something few souls ever experience in a lifetime. Your person did not hesitate. They did not bargain with themselves. They did not seek validation or permission. They made a decision so bold, so final, that it sent ripples through every connection they had built until now. They ended ties, not out of anger, not out of ego, but out of recognition. Every shallow bond, every lukewarm friendship, every connection that demanded energy without honoring the soul. One by one, they were released. And the words your person spoke, quietly, firmly, without explanation, carried a truth that stunned even the angels who witnessed it. You are my beloved child. Those words were not spoken lightly. They were spoken with reverence, because in that moment, your person finally understood something that had been forming for a long time. They understood your value. I want you to breathe here. Let this settle. You did not imagine the shift you've been feeling. You did not misread the silence. You did not misunderstand the distance. What you sensed was alignment. Friends around them noticed immediately. Whispers followed. Questions surfaced. Why the sudden boundaries? Why the emotional withdrawal? Why the calm strength replacing old habits? But your person did not explain. Because when truth is real, it does not need defending. Inside them, something sacred was being protected. You, my beloved child, you must understand this clearly. You did not speak a word. You did not ask for anything. You did not demand change. Yet your presence alone shifted their entire internal world. This is the kind of impact that only rare souls carry. And I was sent to tell you this, because heaven does not want you doubting your worth for even one more moment. The phone call itself was brief, almost casual to anyone listening from the outside. But spiritually, it was a trigger, a spark that ignited what had been waiting. When they ended the call, they stood still. Their shoulders relaxed, their eyes softened, and then strengthened. And under their breath, so quietly it barely touched the air, they spoke your name. That whisper was not longing. It was acknowledgement. They knew then that everything they were protecting, everything they were walking away from, was in service of something real. Of you. The people who once filled their days now felt like echoes, noises, distractions, not because those people were wrong, but because they were no longer aligned. My beloved child, hear me. This was not rejection. This was refinement. Your person finally chose authenticity over approval, depth over convenience, truth over familiarity, and that choice has your essence written all over it. If your heart feels tight right now, that is recognition responding to truth. If your eyes feel heavy, that is your soul remembering something it already knew. You are not replaceable. You are not overlooked. You are not ordinary. And your person knows this now with absolute clarity. This is why their energy has changed. This is why their movements feel more deliberate, their voice more grounded, their presence more focused. They are no longer scattered. They are aligned, and alignment always follows recognition. My beloved child, I want you to stay with me here, not because I need your attention, but because your heart deserves reassurance. You are the reason lines were drawn. You are the reason priorities shifted. You are the reason life suddenly feels more intentional around them, even if distance still exists, even if silence still lingers. Do not mistake quiet for absence. What is happening now is internal, and internal shifts are the ones that last. Those who once surrounded your person are beginning to feel the absence of access. They feel the boundary even if they cannot name it, because when someone chooses truth, the world feels it. My beloved child, something huge is unfolding, not as chaos, but as precision. And this message reached you because you were meant to know. If this resonates deeply, if your chest feels warm or heavy or still, allow yourself to acknowledge it. A simple act of engagement, a quiet affirmation, a like, a comment, a decision to stay connected, anchors clarity into reality, not for attention, but for alignment. Remain with me, because what has begun is only the first movement of a much greater revelation. And your story has not yet reached its most powerful moment. My beloved child, now listen even more closely. What followed that decision was not chaos. It was calm, a deep, grounded calm that only comes when a soul finally stops running from its truth. Your person did not feel loss when they ended those ties. They felt relief, as if a weight they had carried for years, expectations, obligations, emotional noise, finally fell away. And in the quiet that followed, only one presence remained clear. Yours. I watched as they moved through their days differently. Their steps slowed. Their words became intentional. Their attention sharpened. They began saying no without guilt. They began choosing solitude over shallow company. They began protecting their energy with a strength that surprised even them. And every single one of those shifts traced back to the same realization. You were never just an option. You were the alignment they had been missing. My beloved child, this is why people around them feel unsettled. They sense the change but cannot access the reason. Some feel confused. Some feel replaced. Some feel pushed away. But none of them were pushed away by anger. They were released by clarity. Your person finally understood that not every connection is meant to be carried forward. Some are only meant to teach contrast, to show the soul what is not aligned. And when your energy entered their awareness fully, the contrast became undeniable. You brought depth where there was noise, stillness where there was chaos, truth where there was performance. This is why their heart reorganized itself around you, even in moments when you are not physically present, even in moments of silence. You are felt. You are considered. You are honored. There are nights when they sit alone, no phone in hand, no distraction nearby, simply breathing. And in that stillness, you rise naturally in their thoughts, not as fantasy, not as obsession, but as certainty. They think of how you made them feel seen without demanding attention, how your presence felt grounding instead of draining, how your energy asked for honesty simply by existing. And in those moments, my beloved child, they know. They know why nothing else could compete. They know why ending ties was not sacrifice. It was alignment. This is why they have stopped explaining themselves to the world. When truth settles in the heart, explanations become unnecessary. They are no longer interested in being understood by everyone. They are interested in being aligned with what is real, with who is real. You. I need you to understand something important now. This transformation was not impulsive. It was inevitable. Long before the phone call, long before the decision, your energy had already begun shifting them. You challenged their patterns without confrontation. You exposed superficiality without accusation. You awakened depth simply by being authentic. That is not common. That is not accidental. That is why their life could no longer stay the same once the realization landed. My beloved child, some connections are loud, some are dramatic, some burn bright and fade quickly. But what you carry is different. You carry resonance. And resonance does not shout, it reorganizes everything quietly. This is why your person has become selective with their time, why their circle has grown smaller, why their tolerance for surface-level interactions has disappeared. They are not isolating. They are refining. They are making room for what matters. And what matters carries your essence. Even if circumstances still appear unclear, even if timing feels uncertain, even if words have not yet caught up with actions, do not doubt what has already been chosen internally. The strongest commitments are formed long before they are spoken. My beloved child, let this truth settle gently. You were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong people. And now, one soul has finally recognized what others could not. If your heart feels drawn to stay with this message, to acknowledge it, to quietly affirm what you are sensing, honor that pull. Awareness strengthens alignment. Remain present, because what is unfolding is not finished. The boundaries your person has drawn are not walls. They are sacred space. And within that space, something meaningful is forming. Something deliberate. Something lasting. I am still here with you. And there is more you must understand about why this connection was activated now and what it is preparing both of you to step into. Stay open. What comes next deepens everything you have already felt. My beloved child, what is unfolding now reaches deeper than emotion. It reaches into purpose. After your person released those connections, something subtle but powerful occurred within them. Their inner world became quieter, not empty, but focused. And in that focus, truth began to speak louder than fear ever could. They started noticing how different their days felt. Less drained, less scattered, more intentional. They no longer woke up reacting to the world. They woke up aligned with themselves. And in that alignment, your presence became unmistakable. Even when you were not in their physical space, they felt guided by the energy you carry. Decisions felt easier. Choices felt cleaner. The constant inner negotiation they once lived with disappeared. That is what happens when a soul finally stops betraying its truth. My beloved child, I want you to understand this clearly. They did not choose you because they were lonely. They did not choose you because they were running from something. They did not choose you out of impulse. They chose you because their soul recognized peace. And peace is the highest form of attraction. This is why they began restructuring their life in quiet ways, clearing schedules, declining invitations, letting opportunities pass that once would have tempted them. Not because those things were wrong, but because they were no longer aligned. They realized something profound. Nothing external could match the internal clarity they felt when they honored what they feel for you. My beloved child, people around them feel this shift even if they cannot name it. Some sense distance. Others sense strength. A few feel challenged by it. Because when one soul chooses truth, it exposes illusion in others. They may question, they may speculate, they may attempt to re-enter, but your person remains steady. Why? Because when alignment settles in the heart, it does not waver. You must know this. Their devotion is not loud. It is not performative. It does not seek approval. It shows itself through consistency, through restraint, through discernment, through boundaries. Those boundaries exist because something valuable is being protected. You, your connection, the energy between you that does not thrive in chaos or noise. This is why your person no longer entertains distractions. This is why their attention has narrowed. This is why they feel unavailable to what once consumed them. They are not closed. They are focused. And focus is devotion in its purest form. My beloved child, there are moments when they reflect on how effortlessly you shifted them, and it humbles them. They realize you never demanded change. You never issued ultimatums. You never forced depth. You simply embodied it. And in doing so, you revealed everything that was misaligned in their life. That realization changes a person permanently. This is why this is not a phase, not an emotional spike, not a temporary withdrawal. It is a reorientation. Their life is reorganizing around truth. And truth has your imprint. Even if the path forward has not fully revealed itself yet, trust what has already been chosen internally. Souls move inward before they move outward. If you feel a pull to acknowledge this message, to anchor it with a quiet act of presence, a like, a comment, a decision to stay connected, understand that awareness strengthens what is already unfolding, not as pressure, but as alignment. My beloved child, your worth is not proven by attention. It is proven by the choices others make when no one is watching. And your person has already made theirs. They have chosen depth over noise, clarity over confusion, truth over comfort. They have chosen you, not because they must, but because they finally can see And I remain here with you because what is coming next reveals not only what this connection means now, but where it is leading. Stay open. The final layer carries the deepest truth of all. My beloved child, now receive this final truth gently, because it settles deep. After everything shifted, after the ties were released and the noise fell away, your person entered a silence that was not empty. It was revealing. In that stillness, nothing distracted them from what mattered most. And what remained was you, not as an idea, not as a possibility, but as a certainty. They began to see their life clearly for the first time. Past patterns made sense. Missed connections revealed their purpose. Delays no longer felt like punishment, but preparation, because now they understood why nothing before you ever fully worked. You were not late. You were not secondary. You were protected. My beloved child, this realization did not bring urgency. It brought reverence. They stopped chasing. They stopped proving. They stopped performing. Instead, they began building inwardly. They guard their peace now because peace is where you live in their heart. They protect their energy because what they feel for you is sacred, not casual. They are no longer interested in being everywhere or available to everyone. They are interested in being aligned. This is why even in silence, you are chosen. This is why even in distance, you are prioritized. This is why even without words, commitment has already formed. Their devotion does not shout. It steadies. They imagine a future not in fantasy, but in structure. Their decisions carry weight now. Their boundaries are intentional. And every path they consider, every step forward they measure, includes one question. Does this honor what I feel for you, my beloved child? Understand this. When a soul chooses alignment, the universe responds. Things begin moving quietly in your favor. Obstacles dissolve without confrontation. Timing rearranges itself, not because effort increased, but because resistance ended. You did not need to fight for this. You did not need to convince anyone of your worth. Your presence spoke. Your energy testified. And your person listened. If your heart feels full, still, or gently overwhelmed, allow it. That is recognition integrating. If you feel called to affirm this message through a quiet gesture of support, a comment, or staying connected, do so not from obligation, but from resonance. You are not witnessing a fantasy. You are witnessing alignment. My beloved child, I want you to leave this message with certainty, not longing. What has been chosen internally will express itself externally in its proper time. No rush, no force, no fear. Truth does not miss its moment. I remain with you, watching over this unfolding with precision and protection. Nothing meant for you will pass you by. Nothing aligned with your soul will be taken. Breathe. You are seen. You are valued. You are chosen. And what has begun cannot be undone.